Can you give us an update on
Do you
the
have an
match?
update on Ime Thompson? I think that's what she wanted.
Yes, he'll be reevaluated in a week.
Okay. So as of now, you expect him to miss at least the next week, and then you don't know after that.
Yep.
Did he undergo imaging, or can you tell us any more about the nature of the injury?
Yeah, all the above, and nothing, all negative, and just some swelling and pain, obviously, and be reevaluated in a week.
Do you have Fred tonight?
No.
So it's a grade A or grade 1 or
I
grade
don't know what grade, a week means.
Yeah,
but
okay.
I'm not sure. No.
Who's going to start tonight for each of those guys?
Tari, Jabari, with the other three usuals. Jalen, Dylan, Albie.
What's the hardest thing to, I guess, kind of replicate that Ime Thompson brings on a night-to-night basis when you lose him from the lineup?
A lot. Obviously, the things he does you can't replicate. You got some guys that do some similar things, but he kind of does it all in one. And so, the guy that plays every position for us, when one goes down, he runs a point. If another's out, he runs a floor. Defensive, obviously, he's a very unique defensive player. We got some guys that do some great things there, but I like to put him and Dylan on the best two, usually night to night. You got Tari, that's a luxury as well, but the way he goes about it is different. So his athleticism, size, speed, strength, shot blocking ability, steals, it's all over the place. So hard to replicate for sure.
Coach, I know that hindsight is 20/20, but with men still being in the game, up that amount of points, is it hard to really just pull him off the court because he loves the game of basketball so much?
No, not about his love for it, and that's not the reason. What I typically don't do is wholesale substitutions, and I think coaches are kind of paranoid of, albeit 30 at 6 minutes is different than us losing to Minnesota or something like that with 16-point lead with 4 minutes, a little bit different. But no, I think that dead ball, it was Tari and Dylan came out, and the next dead ball, my man and Jabari were coming out, so we still have some guys in there. And like I said, I've seen it go both ways in the past, and you take guys out too early, you have to bring starters back, and vice versa. So that's just what it was. But unfortunately, it was men. Could have been Jabari at that point, but could have been Dylan and Tari if we left them in. So it's just the two of the guys I kept in, especially with Fred and Reed out, one another ball handler out there at that point.
With the double big lineup, why has it been so successful, and how do you think Jabari Smith has handled playing small forward with that lineup?
Been good. It looks good. The numbers are showing it's good. Regardless of Jabari out there, those two have been working well together. And then, Jabari added size. I think the fact that we've been running more zone, the length helps there on the rebounding as well. And so we can hide some guys with certain matchups. But when we do go man to man, we feel comfortable as well, especially when we got somebody that we feel comfortable with out guarding non-center. And so they punished guys on the glass and worked offensively, and the defense has been really good as well. So something, like I said, we'll continue to do going forward. And if we can't match up, we always have the zone in our back pocket.
How important is that lineup going to be tonight, especially going against a team like the Orlando Magic, who has so much size that they can put on the court at one time?
Yeah, it is something we'll look to do. They don't have a traditional stretch big. I think Carter's a decent shooter and struggling a little bit this year, and so we can have those guys out there somewhat. And, they're a team that struggles to shoot the three in general, so it could work in our favor. But combats their size as well, and two really good big defensive teams kind of going at it. It might be an old school night tonight.
What is the challenge for you as a coach to kind of game plan when you are having guys in and out week to week?
Let's figure out what works best with us. It's hard to duplicate certain guys. Not to say Jabari's easily replaced, but when he goes down, we have depth at the wing. So Ben slid in there, Tari played, and Fred and Albie are a little different. When Albie was out for those 3 games, you're not going to be able to replicate that. And then Fred, obviously being our floor general organizer, it's hard to duplicate that. And you've seen it with our struggles with the injuries. And we always talk about our depth and the next guy stepping up, and we've done that so far this year, albeit had some lumps lately, especially with Fred out. And so eventually we'll get whole, and I think 2 more back-to-backs, we'll see where Steven and Tari are as far as being able to play in those and try to be healthy and playing good basketball going toward the end of the season.
What type of problems does Paolo Banchero present on the offensive side of the ball?
Yeah, a matchup problem for pretty much everybody. Can try to put it big on him. He plays on the perimeter, handles the ball well, creates his own shot well, and then put small on him. He obviously gets to the spots and uses the size there, and so you've seen him kind of add to his game, not just being a one-on-one isolation guy, but adding to the post-ups, handling much more pick and roll, setting screens as well. But he plays some small ball 5 with USA, and he's brought some of that here as well. And so we got some big wings as well, and good matchups for us. But he has a matchup problem on a nightly basis, and you see that in his game.
Are there guys besides Jalen and Aaron who you're going to really be relying on to be on the ball tonight?
Jay Sean can be an initiator. He's done it a lot more in the past, but obviously that's, like I said, that's why Ime was in so much, because of the lack of Reed, lack of point guard out there with Reed and Fred being out. But now you take him away and do it by a committee, and guys can get us into things. Obviously, Alfie is a hub down there that can initiate offense, and so you lean on him a little bit more as well. But we're not going to ask one guy to do it. Jalen to handle all night and take away from scoring. To try to facilitate as much, but you have to do both like he does, and Aaron and Jay Sean and others that get in as well.
You talk about the double big lineup like all the way back during training camp a little bit, and then first time we really saw it in action was against Dallas, that game a few weeks back. I guess kind of what changed or what led to kind of your decision to ultimately implement that and kind of start seeing it now on a recurring basis?
Yeah, matchup wise, obviously we have a lot of wing depth, and if you're going to play 2 bigs, it takes away from some of those guys. But when you don't have Tari and you have some injuries that we had, we could lean on him more. I think obviously Anthony Davis having a big first half against us, playing the 4, he's going to work on some of our smaller wings, big wings, smaller guys for him. And so we wanted the size with him and Alpin out there, and obviously they were playing with Gafford and those guys and him. And so look really good there, obviously. And then once we start adding zone, we can protect those guys a little bit better as well.
Was it something that you all thought about deploying, knowing that you were getting to the back end of the schedule with the back-to-backs getting less and less, and Steven being able to play a little bit more?
Yeah, that's part of the reason to sustain his level of play when we increase his minutes. But I think he's doing a good job with those so far. And just like I said, I think Alfie works well off him. He's very comfortable on those 2. But we feel we can do a lot of things. Whether we play Jabari at the 5 with all our big wings at the small ball 4 and all those things, or go double big or traditional. We feel comfortable with all, and it gives us luxury going forward to be able to adapt to matchups, lineups, and do whatever we think works well for us.
Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Coach.